right now. We
Yes,
are
sir.
on my Facebook page, and we are also on my YouTube channel as well. So this is a podcast of our radio show. We are very pleased to have Edward Beard here, who is the state president of the VFW statewide, and one of my good buddies here from for a very long time, Grilley Mitchell, who is the president of the Cumberland County Veterans Association or Council.
Yes.
And you and I have worked together for a long
Quite a
time
few
with
years.
the Veterans Day Parade,
Absolutely.
and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. But before we do that, I have a picture with you, Edward. It's a very significant picture. I won a golf tournament.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Was there any doubt in your mind that Floyd Johnson and I were going to win?
No, I think it was kind of set up that way. But
It's a setup.
we're glad that you guys was in it, and we're glad for the sponsorship that we got for Cumulus, and we was a good day.
Yeah, and you were able to raise money. Let's make sure everybody understands what this was for, because you were able to tell us how much you raised and what it was for.
Yes, we raised over about $6,000, and it's for the Billy Ray Cameron Otis Brown Scholarship for the Veterans of Foreign Wars of North Carolina.
All right, so we appreciate it. Cumulus was a big sponsor associated with that, and we're glad that we were able to help, and even more importantly, that Floyd Johnson and I were able to win.
Yeah.
And the way they had it set up was pretty neat, because you can see the running board as you were going. And Floyd and I said, we're winning this thing.
Yeah.
So we knew we were up. And our team from Cumulus that was with us, they were trying to run us down. We were up like 5 strokes, and next thing you know, here they come.
I think your biggest competitor was your own other team that you had.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Anyway,
It was fun.
if you're a golfer, you understand the significance of that, and I've got to put the little trophy together to put up on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, let's get down to some serious business here before we take a little break. We have the Veterans Day Parade that's going to be coming up, and I saw information about Veterans Day Parade happens in November,
Yes, the first weekend.
but now's the time to really start and talk about stuff. Grilley, what's important now? What people need to know about being involved and all that?
Well, the main thing is to just be on the lookout for all the advertisement information that we're putting out, so that when our parade committee begins to send out information, just number one, you save the date, and number two, you reach out and make sure that you're properly registered, because this year's this is our 30th, and the nation's 250th, and we're trying to make this a very nice parade. It's unpredictable what's going to happen again this year because of our military possibly being deployed, but it doesn't matter. It's business as usual for us. We go on as though everybody's going to be. If they're not, we just adjust file like an old military soldier does.
Well, and last year, the Fort Bragg wasn't there.
That's right.
And talk about the impact on that, but how you just pieced it together.
Actually, had very little, no impact, because what we did, we planned as though they was going to be there. And at the last moment, we said, business as usual. Let's just go ahead and align everybody up. We shifted a few entries around, and we executed as though they was there.
And so the plan is going to be the same, I'm sure,
Yes.
for this coming year as well. Is there a cost, and what's the anticipation in terms of how many, even if, let's say Fort Bragg is going to be able to be there, how big of a parade is it going to be?
Last year, we had about 115, maybe 20 entries. This year, I'm leaving up to the parade committee and the director, but I hope that we have a few more entries this year because of the 250. If I had my way, I would have exactly 250 entries in the parade, but it's not my choice to make that happen. So we have to discuss it and vote on it, and we'll have to look at the length and the time it takes to complete the parade as well.
Edward Beard is the state president of the VFW. Edward, your take on the parade down here. Plus, aren't you the commander at 6018?
I am the state commander for the VFW for North Carolina, and I'm the past commander and incoming commander again for VFW Post 6018.
6018 is just a staple in this community. If you don't know where it is, it's off Ramsey Street. I used to DJ out there on occasion. They have a great show out there on Friday nights for adults. But besides that, it's an ongoing thing. And I remember when you guys burned the mortgage and you owned the building.
Yes.
That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Yes.
Talk about the importance of that post in this community.
Yes. Well, VFW Post 618 is first of all, it's the largest VFW post in North Carolina, and we have over 1,200 members that's affiliated with our post, and we are a very community oriented organization. We're out there. If anything is going on, veteran-wise, community-wise, in our city here, we're there, and we enjoy being out there with the veterans and the community.
Your rise to the state commander. Talk about that and the role you play now across the state.
Yes, well, now it was a journey. It was a journey to get to the point there, but being affiliated with the VFW since 2007, and it was and looking at the members that built the post and came before me, I just felt obligated to try to keep that tradition going, and that was the most important part of it. And then just being the commander for the state of North Carolina, I get to travel all over the state and visit all the VFWs and see what all the veterans and everyone is doing in the state by veterans and for veterans.
You know, we have a lot of posts here in Fayetteville that are very active all over the area. And what are you seeing statewide in terms of membership and people being actively involved?
It's really good. I mean, just to go out. A lot of the VFWs I'm learning now, they came about years ago, and now it's a very, very push to get the younger veterans, because it's older veterans are getting older now, and we're kind of aging out. So it's a really big push in the VFW right now to bring in the younger veterans and being more family and children oriented, because the younger veterans now, they're still out there working. They still have kids in school. So the VFW just changed in that aspect, and that's what we're doing now.
All right, I'm going to hold you two guys over right here. Edward Beard is the president of the VFW statewide, and then Grilley Mitchell is president of the Cumberland County Veterans Council. We're going to hold you guys over. We're going to take a quick break right now. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We're going to take a break and take a look at Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
Increasing clouds throughout the day for a mostly cloudy afternoon. A high in the upper 70s with a few scattered showers around. Then mostly cloudy overnight, and to start off the day on Tuesday, gradual clearing for more sunshine and a high in the middle 70s for that second day of the week. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. Right now, 63 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Pembroke. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Bringing you all the news and information that matters for 4 decades. News Talk 640 WFNC in high def at 103.5 HD2.
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
This summer, imagination takes center stage at Fayetteville Technical Community College with Summerscapes, the ultimate adventure for students grades 1 through 12. From hands-on science experiments to creative arts, music, and drama, Summerscapes offer exciting programs designed to spark curiosity and build confidence. Whether your child is exploring a new hobby or diving deeper into academics, Summerscapes provides a safe, welcoming environment led by caring instructors who make learning fun. With a broad variety of classes to choose from, your child can experience a summer filled with discovery, creativity, and connection to new friends. Visit faytechcc.edu, email summerscapes@faytechcc.edu, or call us at 910-678-8309. At Fayetteville Technical Community College, we offer education for all phases of life and provide a place for young minds to grow, explore, and shine. Summerscapes. Learn it, live it, love it, all summer long.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Good Morning Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2.
News Talk 640 WFNC. Man, we got a lot to talk about here. I've got Everett Beard, who's the president of the statewide VFW Association, and Grilley Mitchell, who's the president of the Cumberland County Veterans Council here. And we've got an event that's coming up at the end of the month. And, I saw the flyer for this thing. I got it right here. I got the flyer. I thought this was like the 8th or 9th. That's not true.
Oh, no.
This is the Widow and Widowers Social that's going to be happening at 6018.
Yes.
And this is the first one. Who wants
Yes.
to have that and tell us about it?
Well, this is our first one, and we've seen that there was a need in our community because every time you talk to someone, they say, nobody never do anything for the widows and widowers. All right, not a problem. And so Ed and I put our heads together, we collaborated on it, and we decided, hey, let's the CCVC and the 618, we get together, and we will host the first one that we're planning. We hope this is a success, and if it is, this will become an annual event, and we want to believe that we are champions of this event so that widows and widowers will no longer feel like they're isolated or alone, so then they make connections, meet new friends, and matter of fact, rediscover old friends they have lost connections with. And we think that this social event will be one of the ways we can make this happen. And we hope that everyone that has the desire to support it come out. And if you want to support and sponsor this event, please reach out to us, and we are available to take your calls.
Okay, I'm looking at the flyer here. Give us details on when it happens, date, times, and Everett, what do people have to do to get involved?
So the Widows and Widows Social, it will take place on the 30th of May from 2 to 6 p.m. We're just going to come out and just have a good time. There's no registration involved. Just come out, bring yourself, bring your friends, and we're just going to have a good time. The biggest thing that I got on it is, when tragedy happens in someone's family and, everybody comes over, day in, day out, they're bringing food, they're socializing or whatever. And then once the service is over, family, they'll hang around for a couple of days and everybody's gone. And now you're there and you're by yourself again. So the biggest thing that we want to do with this is that's not over. So this is the time that you can get out and come back out and socialize and meet other people that's going through the same thing. So we're going to have some games, we're going to have some music, we're going to have some entertainment. Just come out, relax, let your hair down, just have some fun for a couple hours.
Well, there's an awful lot in that in terms of therapy.
Yes.
When you get a chance to talk to someone who's going through the same thing that you are, because, you just never know how a person is dealing with the loss of a loved one. Yeah. And I've always said on this show, there's no statute of limitations in terms of how long it takes you to grieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you may be, we're not just talking about new widows or widowers. We're talking about, if it's been 10 years, really talk about that a little bit.
Actually, how this came about years ago, I was at a reunion at Fort Lee, and a lady stood up and she said, this is my first time coming to your reunion, and my husband passed away in 1976. Now, here we are 50 years later, and she said no one never reached out to her. And that struck in the chord. I said, whoa, hold up. How can we forget? We always say no one is left behind, but yet, though, we're leaving the widows and the widowers behind. We have to reach out. We have to give them a hand to let them know that our hand is there for them to grab, and we will hold their hand as long as they need us, and we will have someone that is standing in the gap for them while they get through the grieving process, period.
And a lot of people forget that moving on isn't about having good insurance or financial support. Right. It is about the emotional support. Because I don't care how much money you have. If you are not walking around in a good state of mind, you're poor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you ever witnessed that with anyone ever?
The biggest thing I see is that when being at the VFW, we have a lot of members that come in. And a lot of members, they're by themselves. Yep. It's just them, whether it be male, whether it be female. They come in and it's just them. So we don't know what their story really is. All we know that they're there. So the purpose of this is for them to come and meet other people that's just dealing with the same thing. And that's when Grilley brought that idea, I'm like, you know what? It's something that we all think about. but we never take action on it. And so it don't matter if you're a widow or widower, or if you just someone that's just been by yourself for a long time. We want those are the people that we want to target to come out and join us on that day.
You know, it's very similar to the Purple Heart celebration of folks who have a Purple Heart. Very similar to the Vietnam veterans who were not recognized the correct way, and they have a big to-do for the Vietnam veterans to finally say thank you for your service. And so, and the same thing is true here. Edward, as you make your way around state, are there other VFWs doing this type of widow and widower social?
This is one thing that I'm in the last month of my administration now, but this is one of the things I want to drive to them. A lot of posts do it. They do it. They just have different names for it. The Gold Star. And a lot of posts do it, and they do it. And so this is just something a name that we came up with, just to kind of just to see what it does, and we're just excited about it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, what is the name? As you mentioned, some of them are Gold Star gatherings and things like that. And so it's good to hear that folks are paying attention, and we're doing it here at 6018. That post is located on Ramsey Street. In case if you don't know where 6018 is and you live in Fayetteville, you need to take the rock off top of your head because everybody knows where 6018 is. Do you have a stand down coming down? Some other things happening as well?
Yes, we do the stand down with the United Way every third Friday in November every year. We've been doing that for over 10 years now, co-hosting that with them, and that's right around the corner. So be on the lookout for the information coming from the United Way on that one. And that's another one that we're excited about because we do it for the community. We just had one this past April with Veterans of America, April 24th, and it was a very, very good day also.
You know, I remember going out with Channel 5 and Channel 11. I was both of those stations for 17 years, and there have been occasions where we've done stories at 6018, and you got people get haircuts, you have people getting blankets, there's food, and then, I mean, there's all types of things out there. And the main thing is they're connecting veterans with resources.
Right.
How important is that, especially for the council here in Cumberland County? We got a lot of veterans who need to be connected.
And we have a plethora of resources that's available, organizations that we're part of. You know, North Carolina is the 8th largest state in the nation for veterans. And so it's important that we continue to drive forward, making sure that information is available to any veteran, any family member that have a need for it. And I want to point out also that we do what we do because we care. This event that we're doing on the social is for anyone that's widow or widower. It's not just military affiliate. We just want to make sure that we are supporters of the community, and that's one of the new initiatives that VFW now has, is that they are actually now more involved in the community, to let the community know that we are one.
You know, I'm looking at the flyer here, and I don't see a cost. Does it cost to come?
Free.
It is free.
Free. Spotty.
It's free.
Free.
Yes,
okay.
free.
Well, look, we appreciate you guys coming in, doing your thing, and talking with us about this. It is the Widows and Widowers Social, hosted by the SSG James B. Dennis VFW 6018 on Chan Street. I said Ramsey Street, but it's actually on Chan Street. Yeah, it's right, the intersection right there, right next to the boat thing right there. And y'all own the place. That's got to be a neat thing.
It's ours. Yeah. But, if you don't mind, Gilbert, I just want to hit one more quick thing. It's really, really big coming up. It's our Veterans Legislative Day. It's June 2nd, 2026. We're advocating for all veterans to come to Halifax Mall at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're gonna reach out to our legislative leaders, and we're gonna talk about issues for veterans.
And to carry it off that, we are an industry. Veterans, military, we are an industry, and it's time that our politicians begin to recognize that, because as an industry, we want to become the voice of one, the power of one, so that we can make an impact, a difference in not just our nation, but in our local communities as well.
Edward Beard, the NC VFW president for another month.
One more month.
And then you become the president of 6018 again?
One more time.
I tell you, you should just run for president of the United States.
Yeah, right.
Grilley Mitchell, good friend of mine for quite some time. I enjoy emceeing the. You haven't invited me yet to MC.
It's coming.
It's coming. Okay, I just want to make sure I've been kicked to the curb. But you know what? It is. Channel 5 used to do it live.
Mm-hmm.
We used to broadcast that live, and we used to do it with UNC Television.
Yeah.
It was a very big production downtown. We had an early curtain call, camera call. We ate over the tap house there. And then we came out and did the parade. A play-by-play of it, you could see it. And things change now over the years. A lot of stuff has changed. And because of these phones and everything, you can do an awful lot of stuff and go live on Facebook Live and all that kind of stuff. But it's still one of the biggest parades in the state. And, my disappointment was, here we are, we have the big parade here in Fayetteville, and they would do the one up in Raleigh at the Capitol. Come on, I've got C-130s flying over top of us on Hay Street. Come on now.
Right?
You want to see a parade.
Yeah.
Come on.
Political power.
All right.
Don't
Look,
forget Memorial Day, too. Memorial Day events. We have 2 events coming up, Fayetteville and Hope Mills. One in the morning and one in the afternoon.
see, I told you guys are active. All right, I'm bringing you both on active duty. They raised the age.
Oh, no, too old for it now.
All right, thank you, guys. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's news from CBS 17.
Good morning. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young. A woman is in critical condition after being hit by 2 cars in Fayetteville. It happened over the weekend on Rayford Road. According to police, the woman walked into the street where she was hit by an Infiniti and then a Hyundai. The body of a missing U.S. soldier with ties to Fayetteville has been recovered off the coast of Morocco. Lieutenant Kendrick Key was one of 2 soldiers reported missing during an off-duty hike a week ago. He was in Morocco to take part in a joint military training exercise. A native of Richmond, Virginia, Key was a graduate of Methodist University in Fayetteville and served in the Army's Air Defense Artillery. Today, members of the Patriotic Millionaires will stand with NC officials for the introduction of the Fair Share for Public Schools Act. The legislation would implement a 7% surtax on income over $1 million. The additional revenue would go to public school funds. The bill follows a growing trend of states implementing their own millionaire surtaxes at a local level. It begins at 10 at the General Assembly in Raleigh before the group travels to Fayetteville to speak about the economy. 3 people are dead after a weekend car crash in Sampson County. According to the State Highway Patrol, a Camaro driving the wrong way slammed head-on into an oncoming car on I-40. It happened near U.S. Highway 701 just after 2:30 on Saturday morning. Investigators say the 2 men in the Camaro died. A 14-year-old passenger in the other car also died. The surviving driver was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Increasing clouds throughout the day for a mostly cloudy afternoon, a high in the upper 70s with a few scattered showers around, then mostly cloudy overnight and to start off the day on Tuesday, gradual clearing for more sunshine and a high in the middle 70s for that second day of the week. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. 64 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also Grays Creek. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle.